64 Tacos Podcasts presents Is This Song Good? This is episode 2, Lana Del Rey, Mariner's Apartment Complex.
Okay, so this is our little podcast about songs that we want each other to listen to and see what we think about it. I picked Mariner's Apartment Complex by Lana Del Rey. I think it came out a couple years ago. I've just been hearing it on the radio, and I was kind of enjoying it, so I thought we'd try that one.
Yeah, it was a song I had not heard before, or certainly had not heard with any regularity if I have. And I really enjoyed it. It was I listened to it on Google or YouTube Music, and the playlist that it came up with also very much suited my music tastes. So that was automatically a good thing to see. And it fit very well with like Mazzy Star and stuff like that. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was. I hadn't heard it before either, and it was very enjoyable. I liked how it had kind of variations on the singing. It was sort of intimate, almost spoken word at certain points, and then the hook was really emotional and driving. I think I like that sort of juxtaposition of having the kind of quieter parts and then all of a sudden like the full-blown singing, and usually you get that more in sort of like the music, the instrumentation, but not as much in the singing, or at least not in this way that I've heard before. And I really liked the sort of echoes of Leonard Cohen. I don't know if you guys picked up on that at all.
Yes,
but
yes,
interesting.
absolutely.
I did not think of that, but you're right. You're exactly right.
Because like when she's singing "I'm Your Man," I'm thinking that really brings back the Leonard Cohen. And then I was looking into it deeper, and somebody was saying that the song is sort of a spiritual daughter, if you will, of Chelsea Hotel Number 2, which I'd never heard of his. I've listened to him a little bit, but it's mostly sort of like the songs that pop up in movies and things like that. And so I went and listened to it, and it does. It's not like identical or anything like that, but it is definitely a kindred spirit, if you will.
And I mean, it would totally make sense that was deliberate on her part, just because she chooses to say I'm your man. Obviously that's a gender role switch, which is totally fine, obviously, but it seems like a very specific choice for a reason. And there's probably more reasons than just, hey, Leonard Cohen,
right.
But it probably works on a couple levels, but that totally makes sense. I didn't catch that at all. I mean, obviously I caught the line, but as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yes, exactly. So yeah, that's an interesting pickup there.
Yeah.
I really do like so everything I've heard from her, and I've not really gone after a bunch of stuff, but I hear stuff sometimes. It's all sort of like melancholy or doom sensing, but also like kind of beautiful and aloof almost. Which I kind of I think that's why I enjoy it. And you were talking, Zach, about the different like delivery stuff she does. Like she kind of sings straight. She kind of goes for it big leading into the chorus, and then she does like the sort of like spoken thing. But one of the reasons I think I like what she does vocally is like when she was doing that little spoken word thing, she puts the octave, the melody octave up, melody over top of it, and the second half of her little spoken part during the verse or bridge or whatever, which always reminds me of Tori Amos, who I really like.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing I noticed. I just kind of like, but you're right, there's a lot of different things she uses to kind of get the mood across.
Yeah. And I thought the production was really good too. It was, very, kind of minimalist, but also very like old school. You know, it had sort of an old feel to it. And then it's got that, you know, really cool but effective guitar solo at the end. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, massive noodling or anything like that. It was just kind of like a simple little, you know, fuzzy chorused guitar solo, and it really fit sort of like the kind of
it sounds cinematic to me.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dave, you know, we talked about this a little bit this afternoon while you turned it on while we were working, but yeah, there's that melody from Dry County from Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Keep the faith. Which it was just bugging me what it reminded me of, and then I finally figured it out and listened to it, and it's almost that da 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 da. It's just pretty much the same.
Right.
I mean, just that one little lick. Other than that, it's, you know, the song sounds nothing like
and
it at
the
all.
funny thing is, I didn't realize it till you pointed that out. Like I didn't put it together, but I have, you know, over the last 3 or 4 days been singing Dry County a lot, and I haven't listened to it in a while. So that clearly it put that in my head, because that's something I have, you know, ingrained into my soul from listening to it.
You mix up a little Leonard Cohen, a little Bon Jovi, maybe a little Tori Amos. And that's exactly what it was sounding like. Yeah. No.
Throw it in a blender and you got some Lana Del Rey.
Well, it's total like soft rock, right? I mean, it's with like the strings and everything. And that's not something I'd have been that interested in like 15 years ago, but now I'm a little less picky about that stuff. I think I have fewer like mental sort of like, oh, I'm not going to like this, you know, ideas. So that doesn't like a barrier for me. I'm not too like elitist about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really pretty and enjoyable. And I think it just creates like a really nice mood.
Yes.
Which is nice, you know. The song could be 10 minutes like Dry County and I wouldn't mind, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's nice to just have on in the background and listen to. You don't have to commit too much to it to be able to get the message out of it, I don't think. There's one thing, I kind of feel like there's two voices in the song too, though. Like it's more of a discussion. I can
lyrical type thing.
Like she's singing a discussion that she's having with another person.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't quite put it all together.
Well, did you guys read the Wikipedia page about it at all?
No.
No.
Because there was a blurb in there. I think it was on the Wikipedia page. I may be wrong, but I was reading some background stuff about it after listening to it, and there was. She said that she wrote it about. It was on the Wikipedia page, but she wrote it after having a discussion with her partner at the time. She didn't say who it was, but the person she was dating, and she said that the person said. That they felt like they were a good match for her because they were in a bad place, or they were sort of, you know, having lots of difficulties. And she kind of just stopped there for a second and she was like, well, that's not what's going on. I'm actually in a really good place. And so it was kind of like this realization that maybe that relationship was not going in the right direction for her. And so I can definitely see where it could be that kind of, you know, two people kind of discussing or a back and forth type of thing, because I think it has very much to do with, you know, talking to the person that you're with in a relationship, and maybe finding that you're not really on the same page, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's, you know, it's, and I don't think she writes like super direct lyrics always, just from the couple songs I've heard, but like there are lines in there that fit in with that description, of sort of having a conversation and trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to look at the lyrics real quick, but like some of that totally fits in,
right,
with that with that when you read the background and get a little bit of an idea of what she was thinking when she wrote it. It's an interesting, but it's one of those things where it's a little unclear, because it's not like a direct story. It's just like some whole bunch of scenes or ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like there's more there than just like that little blurb when on the Wikipedia page about how they, he was like, oh, we go together well because we're both messed up, and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not messed up. Like,
where are you getting that from?
Yeah, right. And then
Yeah.
so there's some of that in there, absolutely, but there's a bunch of other stuff too.
I think my favorite line is "Don't look too far. Right where you are, that's where I am." And
the way she delivers it is particularly effective.
Such a beautiful melody, but then when you really think about it, it's a cool sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the melody; it's actually the meaning behind it that really works as well.
Yep. I also think it's always good when people toss like fucks into pretty songs.
Yes. Yeah, that little bridge or whatever it is there.
Mm-hmm.
With they mistook my kindness for weakness. I fucked up. I know that, but Jesus, can a girl just do the best she can?
Yeah.
It's a great line.
Oh, she captures that sort of like it's sort of like this melancholy, but like she always, maybe it's just her delivery, but she always feels like a little bit sort of a little bit a part of what she's singing about. But no, sometimes she doesn't, when she says, the line like you said, don't look too far, right where you are, that's where I am.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only just a little bit of that here and there, and I think that makes it more effective when she hits you with it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we have up for our next one?
Background.
What's that?
I said it's interesting I didn't really spend any time looking up the background. I just was, listening to the song, but that does sort of put it into context a little bit.
And sometimes you don't want to, because like sometimes it ruins it. Like if you have some sort of idea of how the song is supposed to be, and then you get the interpretation with the source, it can kind of ruin it. But I personally, I like to do deep dives and get as much information about a topic as I can, and really see what it's about. So yeah, for the next one, I just came across a song that actually came out last Friday. It's by a band called Flock of Dimes, and the song is called Two. So that's what we'll be talking about next time.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
I caught it on audio.